I'm giving you a daily dose of spiritual oxygen with a very important double dose. I think that it's really going to benefit us because I've been chewing on this for quite some time. And the Blessed Mother was speaking to me about economy of words and how economy of words benefits us in spiritual warfare. So the Blessed Mother raised her sword against the enemy with humility, charity, generosity, kindness, patience, and these sorts of things. Well, when we are talking about conversations we have with other people, ourselves, internal talk, we need to have a very strict vocabulary. A strict vocabulary that has a huge high dollar investment as we store up our treasure in heaven. See? So I'm giving sort of a natural example for a supernatural concept. When we give money into the bank, we're hoping it gains interest. Okay? And so the higher the dollar, obviously the more the interest. Well, think about this economy of words. In this way, we are moving in power and authority in words that don't sound necessarily powerful, but they are. Humility, charity, kindness, patience, virtuous words, these sorts of things. And so there's another level to this. So in spiritual warfare, there is a battle, as you know, against good and evil and light and dark. Well, one of the demon names is called Jezebel. And the Jezebel spirit works to divide families, divide communities, divide prayer groups, divide podcasters, divide anything it can divide. And what are the stepping stones? What is the food for this particular Jezebel spirit? It is jealousy, judgment, and jurisdiction. So there's governing bodies in spiritual warfare. You know, the battle that we're in is not against good and against the flesh and blood, but against principalities, rulers, dark forces, these sorts of things. And that's in Ephesians 6. And so when let's say a parent throws up their hands, well, as a mother, I did all I could do. She's actually kind of in her vocabulary, not using words of charity, generosity, compassion, mercy. Throwing up her hands is actually giving up a portion, area of jurisdiction as a parent, you see. And so this is a judgment that this parent has made. And I've been in the same position, believe me. And so what we want to do is we want to pay attention to high dollar economy use of words. And so we don't have to say a lot. We just have to use powerful words that are high dollar. Again, I gave you the examples. And so the Blessed Mother was talking to me the other day as I was in prayer. Again, I don't audibly hear her. I understand as if I heard. And so she was speaking to me about this economy of words and about what she spoke. Humility. And a lot of times she didn't speak, but that was spoken, you see. Didn't speak, but that was spoken. Why? Because it conveyed a message, right? And I remember hearing Father Ripperger say that the demons flee when the Blessed Mother sighs. That's the kind of power that she moves in. So we want to pay attention to this, that we are choosing this kind of vocabulary. So this interesting challenge came to me from her, which was a little bit of a surprise. She reminded me of Zechariah, who was struck mute when he had a lack of faith. Okay, and so she said, what if you were using some sentences that lacked these power words, these high dollar words, and instead they were filled with judgment, jealousy, envy, comparison, these sorts of things. And you got 2 more chances to try to speak with these words of charity, kindness, and humility. And if you didn't, you lost your voice for a day. After that day, you get to try again. And you still are not disciplined with the tongue, operating in temperance, right? You're not operating in temperance and prudence. And instead, you are just lackadaisical with your tongue. You get 3 tries. Well, this time you lose your voice for a month. Don't you think that you'd be considering your vocabulary list a little bit more seriously? I have been sitting on this for like a week and a half because, one, I just was contemplating the beautiful ways that Blessed Mother moved through life and the stories that I've heard through St. Catherine Emmerich and St. Catherine of Siena and other saints, the Blessed Mother. And so, as a result, I've been paying attention to my use of words or lack thereof. What we've done, what we haven't done, everything we're going to be held accountable for. The Lord told me every movement, every gesture is counted by me, and in its intensity, in its depth and breadth, every movement, every gesture. Look what I just did. I gestured, counted. So we want to pay attention to this vocabulary that we're doing in gesturing. Vocabulary that we're using as we give eye contact. Use power-packed words to store up our treasures in heaven. I hope that blesses you, because when we're doing that, we close the door on this Jezebel spirit that works to divide churches and these sorts of things as well. All right, so I just want to bless you with this. I pray it made a lot of sense. Stop and start it. Grab the vocabulary words, put them in your Knowing Place journal, begin to operate in them, and then this is the way that you make life changes with a mindset reset to live not in the world, but using the heavenly language. Amen? God bless you. Move at the pace of peace. Do what love requires. Ride the divine current and know who you are and whose you are. God bless.